Hi, this is a mat Pilates workout for January 2023. We're going to start lying on our back in our crook lying position. Remember, if you do need a pad underneath your head when you're lying on your back, please use one. And get yourself down to lying on your back safely. If you're managing any back issues, please come down via side lying before taking yourself over onto your back. Legs should be parallel, feet far enough away that you've got a right angle at your knee. Arms are long down by the side with the scapula retracted, so the shoulder joints pull back a little bit, and the arms are long down by the side. Just like you to take a moment and let yourself release into this position. And then take a breath in, engage your core. With your core muscles softly engaged, moving on the breath out into your posterior pelvic tilt, where you rock your pelvis and press your lower back flat to the floor. As you breathe in, rock your pelvis the opposite way so the curve underneath your back reappears. And we'll go again. Exhale, roll back into posterior tilt. Inhale, roll to neutral. Exhale, roll to posterior tilt. Really try to work your rectus abdominals as much as you can. Inhale, roll to neutral. Exhale, roll to posterior tilt. Just hold it there for a moment or two. Really pushing the back down. Notice which muscles feel like they're working. Inhale, release to neutral. Exhale, posterior tilt. Push back and down. Inhale, roll to neutral. We'll make this our last one. Exhale, posterior tilt. Pressing the back flat to the mat. Inhale to neutral. Now we're going to use that posterior tilt as part of our next exercise, which is shoulder bridge. So we're rolling ourselves into pelvic tilt, but then peeling the pelvis and the spine off the mat and rolling up into our bridge position where it feels you've got a straight line from your knee through your pelvis to your shoulder. And then we'll roll down and roll up again. Use the out breath as you're rolling up and the in breath as you're rolling down. Out breath as you're rolling up. Now when we do bridge, you might find it's a little bit tough on your hamstrings to work bridge from your crook lying position. So this is the only exercise where you're allowed to bring your feet a little bit closer towards your bottom should you need to, if you feel your hamstrings going into cramp, okay? Exhale, rolling up. Inhale, rolling down. And last one, rolling up on the breath out. Now when we roll down on the breath in, get back into your neutral position. And we're going to take shoulder girdle through range of movement with elevation as you breathe in, depression as you breathe out. So you're lifting your shoulders towards your ears as you breathe in, reaching your hands down towards your heels as you breathe out. And that will take your shoulder girdle through its full range of lift and lower. Lift's usually easier for most of us, so emphasize that lower, that reach. Inhale, lift, lower reach. Inhale, lift. Lower reach, and on this one, inhale, lift, lower reach, hold the feeling of reach. Pull your tummy muscles in and keep the gap between your rib cage and your pelvis the same length as you stretch your arms over into scissors. Alternate arms going into shoulder extension. So it's really important with our scissors that you don't let your rib cage pop up. We'll go for 4 more. And 3, 2, and last one. And then we stop when the hands are vertically direct above the shoulders. Turn your palms to face each other. Variation on pro and retraction is the crossover, shoulder drop. Crossover, shoulder drop. Now this is a really lovely exercise because as well as the pro and retraction, we get a little bit of thoracic rotation when you cross over. So we breathe in, cross, breathe out, drop. And as you cross over, all you're doing is reaching your hand on one side above your hand on the opposite side. So you're going for the cross and drop. Cross and drop. Cross and drop. Cross and drop. The last 3. The last 2. And then final one, releasing the arms down. Moving to side line for spine length. Side lying for side lying spine rotations. Variation with your open door arm. Please prop your head up with a pad, cushion or block of the appropriate height that allows you to get your neck into neutral. So with side lying, we've got our lumbar curve, our core is engaged. Feet and knees are forwards with a right angle at the knee and a right angle at the hip. Our knees provide our stabilization point. We take the top arm, reach to the ceiling, turn and look at the arm. Keep looking at the arm and twist the top of your body so you're trying to roll onto your back. When you don't roll any further, hold and take a breath in and breath out, close and return. Repeating the movement, breathing in, engaging the core, reaching the arm and looking at the hand. Breathing out, keep looking at the hand as you try to roll onto your back. Breathe in, hold the end point and breath out to close. Breath in, engaging the core, reaching the arm, looking at the hand. Breath out to rotate. Breath in to hold. Breath out, close. Breath in, engage the core. Arm reaches and we look at it. We breathe out as we twist. Breathe in to hold and breathe out to close. Last time through, engaging the core, reaching the arm, looking at it, breathing out to rotate, breathing in to hold. And then as we breath out and close, we'll release. Moving on to our back again, replace your head pad should you need one. The next exercise is mobilization for the neck and stretch into the deep neck flexors. Keeping your head in contact with your mat or your pad if you're using one, we're going to rock our head, bringing the chin gently towards the chest. Try not to go too far into this. I don't want you to feel like you're choking. And then that lengthens the cervical curve. We're going to hold it in chin tuck for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release from the tuck. Repeat the tuck movement. And again, hold the tuck for 8, 7. And I just want you to notice while you're in the chin tuck position, what feels like it's being stretched. Release from the tuck. Let's go again. Rock into the tuck and hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we'll release the tuck. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of rotation. So moving to tuck, and this time turning the head, reaching your ear to the mat. Rotate to center, release from tuck. Repeat the tuck, but take the turn in the opposite direction. And again, notice what this feels like as you change direction. Most of us have generally got one side that feels a little bit stiffer than the other. Come out of the rotation, come out of the tuck. The important thing is that we keep our joints moving. When we move our joints, we're helping to send nourishment into them, so it helps to keep them in good condition. And if we stop moving our joints, then they do tend to stiffen up and they become a little bit harder to move than they were, and they might even lose some of their range. We'll make this the last time in each direction with our tuck and turn. In general, you'll probably find that a stiff joint does ease with movement. But remember, if you turn or you do a movement and it feels painful, that's just an indication it's not right for you at this moment in time. Now, when we release from the tuck, we have a lovely circular movement, and you're rubbing the back of your head on the mat in a circle. The exercise is called nose circle because your nose describes a circle. We'll go the opposite way, sending it back in the opposite direction. It's going to make a right mess of your hair at the back of your head if you've got any. So I do apologise if you've just been and done your hair, because now it's going to look quite tatty. We'll make this our last one, and then we'll be repeating our side lying spine rotations on our open door arm line on the opposite side. I'm going to turn my back to you. Pop your big pad underneath your head. Remember that as you get into side plank, you need to be directly on your shoulder. When your feet come forwards, make sure you don't use your lumbar curve. So we still need to be neutral. We haven't gone to a fetal position. Right angle at the arm for the open door. Arm, we reach. Look at the hand. Exhale, rotate. Inhale to hold. And exhale to close. I think we did 5 on the opposite side. We engage the core, reach the arm, look at the arm. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, hold. And exhale, close. Breath in, engage the core. So you're pulling up, pelvic floor transverse, reaching the arm, rotating. Breath in to hold. Breath out, release and close. We've got 2 more to go. Engage the core, reach the arm, looking at it, rotating. Breath in to hold and breath out to close. Last time. Breath in, engage the core, reach the arm, look at it, rotate. You should be nice and flexible by now. Breath in to hold and breath out to close and return. We're moving on to our back for our next exercise, and we're going to do some heel slides. This is a pelvic stability exercise, so you're trying to keep your pelvis still, maintain the abdominal wall flat while your leg moves. So set yourself up in crook line, use a pad underneath your head if you need one. Pelvis in neutral, use the bones as a rough guide. Pull your core muscles in. You should have a gentle curve underneath your back. Retract the shoulder girdle, lengthen the arms to the mat. Exhale as you lengthen your right leg down the mat. Inhale, bring it back up. Changing to the left leg. Try to keep your weight heavy in your pelvis and light on your feet when you do this exercise. And if you can develop that heavy in your pelvis and light on your feet visualization, it will really help you not only to strengthen the core and to keep the pelvis still, but with some of the other harder exercises that we tend to do in order to strengthen our transverse abdominals. So there's barely any weight at all on your feet when you bring them back. Weight stays in the pelvis, and that is going to make your tummy muscles work really hard. Important that you do not bulge your tummy muscles up. We'll do 1 more on each side. And then when we finish our last one, we're going to work with the right leg all the time for a set of 10 repetitions of the knee drop. You're going to use the variation where you've got your legs adducted together so you can always feel when you come back to the center. Okay, so feet and knees glued together to start with. Engage your core. Right leg, we rotate the leg out and in, out and in. Now, as the leg rotates out, your pelvis needs to stay still. In this position, it's a hip mobility exercise and get a little bit of pelvic stability, but not massively so. We'll go 3 and in, 2 and in. Last one, come in, left leg, reset your core, rotate out and in, out and in. So you're rolling outside edge of your foot, sole of your foot, outside edge of your foot, sole of your foot, as that knee drops out to the side. You can feel the contact point between the back of the pelvis and the mat while you're doing your knee drops. That should stay the same for 3 and in, 2 and in. Last one, when we come in, we're moving on to our ab prep. So we move from the adducted leg to the parallel leg. Pelvis and spine are neutral. We zip into the core, engaging. We lengthen the neck with that lovely chin tuck movement, maintaining the length in the back of the neck. Exhale, raise head, shoulder blades, arms off. Inhale, hold. Exhale, release down. We go again, breathing in, engaging the core. So make the tummy go flat, lengthen the back of the neck as you come into your chin tuck. Keep the length in the back of the neck. I want you to feel like you're lifting from underneath your shoulder blades. So it's just that bottom corner of your shoulder blade is literally just up off the mat at the top of the ab prep position. Breath in, hold, and breath out, release down. Breath in, engage the core, lengthen the neck. Breath out, raise. Breath in, hold. Breath out, lower. 1 more time. Breath in, engage the core, lengthen the neck. breath out, raise. Breath in, hold. And on the breath out, when we lower down, again we're holding the neutral, keeping the core engaged, moving the leg to tabletop with single knee fold, releasing the leg down. So we've got single knee fold as a pelvic stability exercise because you're trying not to wobble your pelvis from side to side when you change from one leg to the other, folding in and then folding out. And then also as a core exercise because you're trying to keep pulling your tummy muscles down as the weight of your leg changes position and you're coming into the tabletop position. We'll go one more on each side with our single knee folds. When we finish that last one, rotational stretch. One leg straight, one leg at tabletop, arm stretched out to the side, your tabletop leg goes over and your head turns away from your bent knee. We'll hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1, coming out of the rotation and reversing it, knee goes over, head goes opposite way. We hold the stretch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we release out of our rotation stretch. We're working the 100 ab prep variation. Bringing yourself to your crook lying position, feet far enough away from your bottom. You've got a right angle pelvis and spine in neutral, scapula retracted. Arms down by side. Zip and hollow core muscles. Lengthen your neck into chin tuck. If you're managing neck issues, stay here. Float arms only. If you're free of neck issues, raise to top of ab prep. Floating arms with you. 100 beats. We breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 10. So the arm line develops a little bit of momentum that we're stabilizing against. Our torso should stay really still when we do the arm beats. So we don't want to see our torso moving about when we're doing the ab prep. And also the abdominal wall should stay nice and still, nice and flat. I do want you to feel like you're still pulling up with your pelvic floor muscles and pulling down with your transverse abdominal muscles as you're right at the top of your ab prep position doing your 100. Last 10 beats, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 100, releasing down. I'm going to take a quarter turn. Your knees are bent forwards and your feet are back in line with your pelvis, mimicking the position that you would be in if you were lying on your back in your crook lying position. But your elbow is directly underneath your shoulder. Now what I would like you to do is just push a little bit of weight into your shoulder and this will bring your spine into a diagonal line. If that feels like it's enough for your shoulders, stay there, extending the opposite arm. If you feel you're ready to load your shoulder and you're able to maintain your core connection, I would like you to raise your pelvis off the mat. We're going to hold for the count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then release down, coming to side lying. Straight position for side lying leg stage 1. So this is a hip abduction movement and it works the muscles at the top of the thigh. I want you to be careful that you don't hitch your pelvis up towards your ribs. So the gap that you have in your waist stays the same. Think about lengthening the leg away rather than trying to lift high. So toes pointed, lengthen, flexed, lower, point, lengthen, flex, lower. Make the foot movement really precise and really strong because this will make the muscles in your calf and your shin work hard. So when you point, it's your calf. When you flex, it's your shin that works. Point, lift, flex, lower. Leg stays straight at the knee and you're reaching away. Last time through. And then when we release down, we're going immediately onto the opposite side. We we're not going immediately onto the opposite side. Sorry. Okay, when we finished our leg lift, we're going to mini cobras. We're lying on our tummy, we're taking our feet wide, we're taking the hands underneath the shoulders, and then we're working from the top of the spine to extend towards the bottom of the spine, just so you're propped up on your elbows, releasing down. We go again. Top of the spine towards the bottom of the spine, releasing down. Top of the spine towards the bottom of the spine, releasing down for 3 more. Exhale as you're peeling up. Inhale as you're releasing down. Exhale as you're peeling up. Inhale, releasing down. And last time, peeling up into your cobra. Let's have a little pause at the top of our cobra there. Just hold your extension. And then we're going to release this one. Now, whenever we do extensions, it's always quite nice to balance it out. We're going to do a little bit of flexion next with our shell stretch. Sitting back towards your heels, getting as close as you can towards your thighs, arms along in front of you. And in our shell position, always a good place to have a little bit of pelvic floor work. Let's try our light switch exercise. So we'll turn our pelvic floor on to maximum, turn it off, turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off, turn on, and off. 4 more, and off, and 3, off, 2, off. Last one, releasing pelvic floor. We're coming up to a 4-point kneeling. Now in our 4-point kneeling position, we are going to work on our cat stretch. So as we exhale, we flex. Inhale, extend. Exhale, flex. Inhale, extend. Exhale, flex. Inhale, extend. Exhale, flex. Inhale, extend. Last time through. Exhale, flex, and inhale, extend. Transition to the mat, lying down on your tummy. You might need a little pad to pop underneath your forehead. Breaststroke prep. Stage 1, really good for the postural muscles that keep your shoulder blades down your back and stop you rounding your shoulders. Arms are in a W position, legs are straight. Core muscles are engaged. We exhale, slide the shoulder blades down the back. Inhale, peel the face and chest off the mat. Exhale, release the chest and face down. Inhale, release the shoulders. Exhale, shoulder blades down. Inhale, peel the face and chest off. Exhale, release chest and face down. Inhale, release shoulders. Exhale, shoulder blades down. Inhale, face and chest off. Exhale, chest and face down. Inhale, release shoulders. We'll do 3 more. Sliding the shoulder blades down. So we've got a really lovely depression of the shoulder girdle, followed by cervical thoracic gentle extension. Releasing and releasing. Shoulder blades down. Face and chest off. Chest and face down. Releasing shoulders. Last one. Shoulder blades down. Peeling the face and chest off. Releasing chest and face down. Releasing shoulders. Stage 2 takes us hands by hips. We prepare for the exercise by engaging our core muscles. On the breath out, we squeeze the shoulder blades, rotate into the shoulder joint. Breath in, float into lumbar extension. Breath out, release lumbar extension. Breath in, release shoulder girdle. Exhale, shoulder blade, shoulder joint. Inhale, lower back float. So the next stage really neutral when you're doing the stage 2 prep. The muscles working are the ones between your shoulder blades and the ones in your lower back. It will feel very different to the stage 1 prep. We'll do 2 more repetitions. Retract shoulder girdle, rotate shoulder joint, float into lumbar spine, release shoulder girdle, and last one, shoulder blade, shoulder joint, floating up, releasing down, and then releasing the shoulders. Okay, variation on 4 points. Instead of 4-point kneeling with hands under your shoulders, you're going to place your elbows down where your hands are, and that will give you a 4-point variation elbows under shoulders. I like this because if you get your spacing right, it automatically puts you into neutral without having to do anything. So in this 4-point neutral position, we engage our core muscles, we're doing hip extensions. We straighten out the right leg without rotating the pelvis or the spine. We flex the foot, and then keeping the pelvis and spine still, we raise and lower. Raise and lower. So it's a straight leg raise and lower, and you're working against gravity with your transverse abdominals here, while your gluteus maximus is doing the work of hip extension for 4 and lower, 3 and lower, 2 and lower. Last one, we're going to make the buttock work hard. Get to the top point. Press 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now hold, top point. Leg really straight, buttock clenched for 4 more. 3, 2 and 1. Lower the leg, slide it in, and then do the same. Reset your center, keep your pelvis neutral. Slide your left leg out and flex your foot. With your foot flexed, your core engaged, left leg raise. 10, lower, 9, lower, 8, lower, 7, lower. So the straightness of the leg is important because this gives you a long lever and it makes you work fairly hard because of the length of the leg that you're lifting. 2 and lower, 1 at the top point. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the top point for 8, 7. Push the heel away, keep the knee nice and straight, keep the buttock clenched. 4, 3, 2 and 1. Releasing down, relaxing the leg. We are now going to do your other leg for sideline rotations. So I'm going this way for this one. Lengthening away as straight as you can. We point the toe, we lengthen as we lift, flex the foot, lower, point, lift, flex and lower. Just try to make your body as long as you can with this movement. Strong foot movement for lots of activation into the muscles in the calf and in the shin. 4 more. Point, lift, flex, lower. 3, lift, flex, lower. 2, lift, flex and lower. Last one, lift, flex, lower, release, bending the knees. We get a little bit of a recovery in our 4-point position for push-ups. It's no recovery at all, really, is it? Okay, so we're going to try to emphasize the triceps with our push-ups. That means you've got quite a narrow arm. And when you bend your arms at the elbows, you want the tops of your arms, so your upper arms coming close to your body and then further away from your body. What you don't want is you don't want your lower arms going down to the mat like this and then up from the mat like this, okay? So your weight is forwards, the tops of your arms come close to your body, further away from your body. Close to your body. Oh my gosh, that's so hard. Further away from your body. Close to your body. Further away from your body. If you've got one more, do it. I haven't because I'm worn out. Close to your body. Further away from your body. Okay. We're going to take a quick recovery in shell with a side stretch. Head stays between the arms. Your arms walk over to the side. You're going to get a lovely stretch down through one side of your body. We'll pause. And just let everything lengthen into position. One more cycle of breath in and out. And then go the opposite way for your side stretch. Now we are going to come back and do a few more push-ups, and the emphasis on these is going to be on our chest. Once we've done them, we'll do a few beautiful swimming preps as the exercise after that. So we're just holding that side stretch. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen away. Last cycle of breath in and out. and then back to centre, back to 4-point kneeling, but go really, really wide, perhaps taking your hands off the mat with this one. It's all about weight distribution when you're doing your wide grip push-ups. So you're maintaining your neutral spine, bending your elbows. They can stick out to the sides at this point, and because of the wideness of the arms, you'll be working across the chest with this variation on your push-up. It may feel slightly easier to do this than the other variation, which was the smaller muscle group of the triceps. We'll make this our last one. Okay, and now we've got those really lovely swimming preps. Using the variation where we've got arms in W, and it's a diagonal. So arm on one side, leg on opposite side. Come into a little bit of spine extension as you raise the straight leg and lift the bent arm. Release down and change over. Into spine extension, raise the straight leg, lift the bent arm. Can we pause there for a little bit in the lift position? Releasing down. Again, exhale, raise. Pause, inhale down. Exhale, raise. Pause, inhale down. Now the pause will just make you work a little bit harder compared to if you were just going into your straight lift and lower. Our aim is to do 4 more. Exhale, lift and pause, and lower. Exhale, lift and pause. Inhale on the lower. Exhale, lift and pause. Inhale on the lower. Last time. Exhale, lift and pause. Inhale on the lower. Shell stretch, wide knee variation. As your recovery exercise, you should get a bit of a stretch into your inner thigh when you are sitting back into your wide leg shell. Seems too much of an opportunity not to do a bit of pelvic floor work while we're here. So I am going to suggest we do our weight lifter, where we engage the pelvic floor maximally. Hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release pelvic floor. Let's go again. Engage the pelvic floor maximally, holding 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing pelvic floor. And then last time, engaging pelvic floor maximally, holding 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing pelvic floor, moving to our seated position. Our next exercise is the spine twisting seated. If you do need to change the leg line, you can work with bent knees or crossed legs if the straight legs don't work quite well for you. And you can also sit your bottom up onto a block should you wish to do so. Okay, so arms are long, and I want you to imagine that your arm position is fixed. So you can't move your arms, just turn your body side and centre. So your twist is through your thoracic vertebra. That is the bit of your back that articulates with your ribs. So we've got quite a long thoracic section. The movement between each of the joints is quite small, but as a whole, we end up with quite a lot of movement between the joints. We'll go one more time in each direction with our rotations. And then when we finish that last one and release, come off your block if you've been working on one, into a bent knee position. I would like you to start with your spine flexed forwards and then roll halfway backwards. Hold the position, rotate and reach the arm out to the side. We'll change arms each time, so we'll change sides each time. Rotate the arm back to the centre and roll up. Repeating that, roll halfway back and hold. Rotate the opposite arm this time to the side. Rotate to centre and roll up. Exhale, halfway back roll. Inhale, rotate, reach. Rotate centre, roll up. Roll back, rotate, reach opposite side. Rotate, reach centre, roll up. Let's do 4 more. Roll back, rotate, reach side. Rotate to centre, roll up. 3 more. Roll back, rotate each side, rotate to centre, roll up. Last 2. Roll back, rotate each side, rotate to centre and roll up. Last one. Now when we finish this last one, we'll be going back down onto the mat into our crook lying position, and we're going to use a leg exercise that will challenge our ability to keep the abdominal wall flat, okay? And that is crucial to this exercise. So we're moving on to our back, into our crook lying position. I want you to make sure you've got a good neutral position, make sure you've got a pad underneath your head should you need one, and then engage your deep pelvic floor and your transverse abdominals. And notice how loose your waistband feels around your abdominal wall. Keeping that feeling of core muscles engaged, do not push into your waistband. Bring your right leg to tabletop, and then maintaining the zip and hollow with your core muscles. We exhale as we lengthen the right leg away into the heel glide position. This is approximately 45-degree angle between the straight leg and the floor. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, lengthen away. So as this leg goes away, make sure your tummy stays flat and it doesn't push up into the air. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, lengthen away. Now this is the easiest level of this exercise. So if this is the right one for you, continue to work at it. If it's too easy, you change your start position to a double tabletop to do your heel glides, and that will make everything that you're doing much harder. We'll make this the last one on our right leg, and then we're releasing our right leg down. So if you're single, you come up, knee fold, left leg, and you keep your right foot on the floor and you do your heel glides here, making sure that the abdominal wall stays flat, it doesn't bulge. Should feel like it's working. If it's not working hard enough, you're in your double tabletop and you're gliding the opposite leg away. And again, you should not bulge your abdominal wall up. That should stay completely flat. And it's as the weight of the leg goes away, this is where all the work is. We could just hang out here for 25 minutes. Joking, we're not really going to. We'll make this our last one. And then when we release, we're moving to seated. If you're managing any back issues, much less stressful for your back to roll onto your side and push up to seated than it is to try to roll directly off the mat from lying on your back to seated. That is quite a challenging thing for your back to try to do. So if you do have a known back condition, or you do manage back pain from time to time, generally better not to put it under so much stress. We're doing inner thigh stretch, feet together, knees apart. So stretch for the short adductors at the top of the legs. We're going to come out of our short adductor stretch and into our seated hip rotator stretch. So the knees come together, we straighten one leg out. Remember, the advice is if you have a replacement hip, your foot stays on the same side as the replacement. I don't, so I can cross that over. And you always turn in the direction of your bent knee. It's important that you keep both of your sitting bones planted to the floor with this stretch and you lengthen towards the ceiling. If your sitting bone comes off, it's likely that your stretch won't be quite as effective as if you're managing to keep it down. We'll release and go the opposite way. Same rules apply. And then releasing out of our hip rotator stretch to a seated side stretch. Elbow long, reach through the fingertips as you stretch over to the side. Go as far as you can, keeping your sitting bones planted down as you hold the side stretch. We'll release, we'll go to the opposite side. Lengthen, 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 lengthen. So if you feel like you're pushing your hip bone down, that should give you a nice feeling of stretch. And then we're going to release from there, moving to standing in a way that suits you. So you can use lunge as a functional movement to get to standing. And if you do, try to build the strength in your legs so you don't need to lean on your legs to get yourself to standing. In standing, legs facing in the same direction as each other, we are stretching our calf. So you want to bend your front knee and sway your weight forwards, pushing your back heel into the ground to get a calf stretch. We're going to move from calf stretch to hip flexor stretch. If you raise your back heel, bend both of your knees this time, and then perform a posterior pelvic tilt that will drive the stretch down to the hip. Combining that with a stretch for your upper back, link your hands, drop your chin to your chest, and separate your shoulder blades. Release your upper back stretch, take one hand in between your shoulder blades, go into your tricep stretch. And then we'll release that and go to straight legs and lean forwards with a neutral spine in your straight leg position. And you should get a hamstring stretch in your front leg. I'm going to hold it there. And then release out of it and switch legs. So we're starting with our calf. Stretch, back heel, push down, front knee bent. And have a bit of a chest stretch with that. Fingers linked, elbows back, shoulders back. We'll release the arms, come up into your hip flexor stretch, lifting the back heel, bending the back knee, tucking the tail between the legs. This is that posterior pelvic tilt to open the hip. Opposite hand this time in between the shoulder blades to bring the elbow towards the back of the head, so you've combined that with your tricep stretch. And then releasing the tricep stretch, both legs straight, hinge forwards until you feel the stretch in the hamstrings on the front leg. We'll hold it. So when you hinge forwards, it's really important that you don't go into upper back flexion, but you keep this feeling like you're nice straight line. Let's release from there. Back to parallel stance. Big deep breath in, full body stretch towards the ceiling. Release the arms down. Give yourselves a clap. Fabulous stuff, everyone. Hope you've had a wonderful time and really enjoyed that.